If you thought Starfield was already a massive expansive game, well, it seems like it was supposed to be a lot bigger than it was at release. It seems like there was so much cut content for Starfield, and we've got Todd Howard talking about the situation. Also, please forgive my voice in this video, I've got the bug. And if you want more information about Starfield, we talk all about it on this channel, along with Star Wars games, upcoming Ubisoft games like Ghost Recon, Splinter Cell and Prince of Persia, along with updates of the Witcher series and the sequel to Cyberpunk. So from an article of fandomwire.com, it says hundreds of plans. Todd Howard admits a lot of Starfield was cut largely due to COVID. Pretty much everyone in the world knows about COVID and its global impact, which took a significant toll, especially on the business world, but many tend to forget how much of an impact it made on the smallest of things. Several companies had to struggle with changing to a work at home status, and that slowed down a lot of production for many companies. Another issue was transferring work from company computers to home computers and tracking the progress, as many people struggled with the change due to family life. And it was because of these issues that a lot of plans for Starfield had been scrapped by the developers. Also, when planning Starfield, Bethesda began working on a new technology that would use to run the title. Still, with COVID and working at home, this caused a lot of issues. Sadly, it made development on this technology take longer, causing the process to slow down as the team had to wait to test features on the new engine that was being developed. With these changes to the engine, Bethesda had to make some adjustments to its development plan. As Todd Howard stated, we knew we were going to rewrite parts of the engine, so we started building technology for the planet and the outer space stuff on our previous engine and renderer. And I think when playing Starfield, it does very much feel like the space exploration side, being in your spaceship out in space, feels a lot separate to the on the ground gameplay. It also feels a lot emptier. Myself personally, I wanted a lot more when it came to exploration in space, and I think a lot of people did feel like that too. And I think in this section of the game, when we are out in space and we are in our spaceship exploring, I think, well, not really exploring, fast traveling everywhere, but I think that's where a lot of the cut content or a lot of big ideas did have to get cut from the final game to reach realistic deadlines. There's also this really cool video by the Nordman which shows a Starfield player spacewalking, which I think is just an absolutely incredible feature if the game had it. I think if when we get into our space dogfights and our ship is damaged, it will be really cool to kind of put a latch on and go outside of your ship into space and repair the ship from the exterior. Also, on the Game Maker's Notebook podcast, and Todd Howard was talking to the Insomniac CEO, he says that he has a big list of features to add to Starfield. This of course includes player feedback, things that the fans want, which he mentions that the developers want some things too. Also, there was speculation about whether the initial game had land vehicles, and I would think that it did because of the concept art. We see things similar to land vehicles, but again, due to COVID, some things are very much more complicated to add into this game, especially using the creation engine. Games like Skyrim and Fallout also never had a vehicle system, and especially a game like Fallout could have definitely used some cars, and we see destroyed cars around the world, but Skyrim did use horses and Starfield has its jetpacks. But hopefully, given time, we will see the inclusion of land vehicles, and that would definitely be a great feature to add to the game. Now, speaking about all this cut content and unfinished features in the game, I think the fact that Todd Howard said himself that he had hundreds of plans for Starfield that never made it into the game shows a bright future for the future updates and DLC of the game. We know this game is going to be supported hopefully for 10 plus years, and it was designed in that way to be played for a long time. And also, Todd Howard described it as this being the start of Starfield, so that the game that we are playing right now isn't going to be the same game in 5 to 10 years. It's going to look very different. So expect that a lot of these new features that Starfield will be getting in the future, most of them came from the plans of what was supposed to be added to the base game. And a great example to what we could be seeing in the future of Starfield in terms of cut content, which is something that this Screen Rant article alludes to when it says Starfield cut content is perfect for a new survival mode difficulty. So I heard this myself from Todd Howard in an interview where he says that the idea of fuel consumption on your spaceship was something that was very much going to be in the game. However, the reason why it was cut was because it slowed down the game's pacing. At times it even made the game feel boring. However, I like the idea from Screen Rant that this could be added to the game again, but in the form of a new survival mode. And we've seen the survival mode added to games like Skyrim through its Creation Club. So maybe some features that were cut from the game because it slowed down the pacing of the game, or it just didn't feel right, maybe could be brought back in a different form. Now, I will be hopefully making videos on Starfield's cut content in the future, going specifically into certain features that were cut and how they could be added in future updates or Creation Club, because there is a lot of plans that Bethesda has for Starfield, and there's going to be even more ideas when the official mod support kicks in, some of which could be added to the base game and DLC expansion. So please subscribe if you want to see more from Starfield's future content and cut content and how that could impact the future of the game. Go ahead and check out my previous Starfield videos, which I'll leave in the description and pin comment section below, alongside my Star Wars, Ghost Recon, Prince of Persia, Splinter Cell, Witcher 4 and Cyberpunk sequel videos, and even The Last of Us Part 3. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Peace out, God bless, and hope to see you on my next videos. Take care, guys.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind.